So in today's video, we're going to be talking about every single SBC that is leaked for Black Friday so far this year, and I'm talking about all the investments you can do for that. But before we do go and start that, if you guys are interested, I do offer a daily subscriber trading service over on Twitch, which you can get for free with Amazon Prime. All you got to do is click on the top link in the description and subscribe over on Twitch. It is free with Amazon Prime. If not, it's £5, €5 or $6. In there, you'll get yourself daily updated investing guides and daily updated trading guides. A recent investment that did very, very well was me recommending the Pro Live cards on Sunday evening, then flipping them before their games yesterday. So, for example, we had Amrabat, who we recommended at 27, who went all the way up there to before the games 38, so that was a nice little 10k there. We had Oxlade Chamberlain, who we recommended at 33 on the Sunday, and he went all the way up to 43k in the pre-hype. We then have Morsley, who we recommended at 16k, and he rose all the way up to 21k in the pre-hype. And then we got Bino Gittins, who we recommended at 305, who managed to get all the way up to 350 in the pre-hype. And finally, the best one, Fabinho Carvalho, recommended at 92, and he managed to go all the way up there to 106 in the pre-hype. Yes, some of them are more, but I recommended sell them in the pre-hype. Obviously, some are down, some are up. So obviously you play it safe. You sell them in advance. Yeah, some of the players have done really well, but in the end of the day, that is just kind of gambling at the end of the day. So let's go and talk about the SBCs that are going to come during Black Friday. Now, these SBCs are favoured to come anywhere from this Friday all the way through to the following Thursday. So we don't have specific days, but we can expect these SBCs and probably more in the next week. So, the SBCs that have been leaked is this Cruyff with an official card. Now, it was leaked to be a flashback Cruyff, and I said, do you know what? I expect Cruyff nowhere near as good as the current one. I said, they'll probably go and drop him. Weirdly enough, I actually went and said that he'll probably end up getting a card like John Barnes, but without the 5-star skills and 5-star weak foot. Be quite interested to see how far off I was on my prediction. Let's have a little look. Significantly worse pace, better shooting, slightly better passing, very similar dribbling, and physical we didn't expect. So it was quite similar to John Barnes, which is kind of where I expected them to go and release the flashback Cruyff. Official play stars with the likes of Tiki Taka, which is or tactical, whatever it is, which is quite nice. It's Tiki Taka. But yeah, nice play style, 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot, pretty decent. Now, I'll be honest with you, if you go and compare him to SBCs, promo cards, or Evos, he is not looking too great. But we all understand that icons have significantly always outperform their stats if it's due to their unique body type, unique running styles, or whatever. They're normally quite well demanded. I can see this Cruyff being well demanded. Obviously, he's a big legacy player, and he's a big card that people always want to use. On top of that, the flashbacks that are leaked so far for Black Friday is Casemiro. Now, these aren't going to be the stats that Casemiro has, because that'd be absolutely abysmal, but he probably won't be the most favourable card in the world. And then on top of that, we've got all of the Thunderstruck, although there'll probably be more Thunderstruck promos, SBCs, but the players leaked to be SBCs are Barella, Saka, and Pajor. And then on top of that, you can see the Cruyff and Casemiro. So far, those are all the leaked SBCs. We do expect to go and get more Thunderstruck SBCs, and in fact, we actually expect to go and get some Thunderstruck Icon SBCs, because it is a Icon and base promo. I did go and load up all the SBCs we did go and see last year, because in a second we're going to talk about Fodder, and what we're going to show you is, even with a lot of well-demanded SBCs, Fodder didn't necessarily do that well. So all of these SBCs came between November the 22nd, all the way through to, if I can go and find the last one, till November the 30th. So it's basically a week's worth of content. And in that week, we went and got ourselves, here we go, we went and got ourselves POTM Mbappe to start it off. Then the next day, we went and got ourselves a 10x83 that was repeatable every day. We then got ourselves a flashback Frankie de Jong. We then got ourselves double 84s, which I'd want to say were repeatable every day. We then got an 85 player pick that I'd want to say was repeatable every day. We then got double 85 upgrade SBCs that I'd want to say were repeatable every day. One of them might not have been. We then got a Thunderstruck Kenny Dalglish. We then went and got ourselves the first campaign player pick of the promo. Then we got a Flash SBC St. Maxim. Then we went and got ourselves a Thunderstruck Depay. Then we would have got ourselves a flashback Oscar. Then we would have got a base icon SBC. Then we got a base hero pick. I imagine then they would have had, to an extent, repeatability. Then we had a second campaign pick. We then had a Thunderstruck Balak. We then had a year in review pick, so basically the third campaign, fifth sort of big upgrade SBC. We then had base hero John Barnes. We then had Thunderstruck Christian Romero. Then had Thunderstruck Lee Kang-ing. We then had base Philip Lahm. And then to end off, we had Thierry Correa. So you can see over the week last year, we had a lot of SBCs. So to go and get ourselves the Flashback Cruyff, the Casemiro, and all of these SBCs isn't too surprising. And it's also why we expect more SBCs. But you'd say with all that fodder, surely it did well. Well, I've got to load up one piece of every fodder just to show you how they did. We'll start off with the super high rated. So we've got a few points. We've got the relevant points are Mbappe came out here. But Black Friday started here, and the Black Friday promo ended here. So you can see with the extremely high rated, there generally wasn't a very good rise. Again, there's the Mbappe, there's the end of Black Friday, right there. And also, you've got to bear in mind, we do have Vinicius Jr. coming with those SBCs, obviously, next week. But again, it's just really not amazing. Bear in mind, we had a lot of top-end SBCs, and we went and had Mbappe. We then moved to 89s. Maybe 89s were better. Well, again, this is before we had Mbappe, 35k. Then Mbappe, when he came out here, and he got up to 38k. But then he just didn't rise over Black Friday, and it took till December. So that's the second high rated that just didn't rise. With the move to the likes of Oblak, again, here's where we are about now. There's we are after the Mbappe. They did have a bit of a rise, but in the end of the day, it was 23 to 25k. There was just no money on 88. Or maybe some of the lower rated fodder did well. Maybe the player SBCs with low rated compartments, maybe the upgrades, the icons, the heroes, maybe they had low rateds. Well, again, this is before Mbappe came out. This is when Mbappe came out. This is during Black Friday. So it wasn't until after the Saturday, which is when the 86s rose, and they only went from 14.5, ending on Black Friday up about 16k, so about 1.5k, nothing on the 87s. What about the 86s? Well, again, here's where we are now. There's Mbappe coming out. There's Black Friday right there. And they did 10.6 to 11.8. Really not amazing, but maybe 85s did well. Here's where we are now. There's we are with Mbappe. There's Black Friday being out. And the most they did was 6.6 up to 7.6. Really, really underwhelming. Make about 600 coins a cart. Maybe the very low rateds did well. Well, again, here's where we are right now. There's Mbappe coming out here. Here is Black Friday. And then they did 3.3 up to 3.9. Proportionally, probably the best return, but still not crazy. Maybe 83s had the money. So again, here's where we are right. Where are we right now? Here's where we are right now. We can see that fodder generally peaked on the Wednesday before Black Friday. Then how did 83s do for Black Friday? Well, they kind of just dropped. This is Black Friday. They just dropped. Had a very small rebound. I mean, they did 1.4 to probably about 1.8, so it wasn't that bad. And then they just dropped through the rest of the week back down to discard. 82s for those that are interested. There's your before Black Friday. There's Black Friday. There's after Black Friday. There was generally last year no money on fodder. And what you've also got to appreciate is that last year fodder was rarer. Fodder this year is way, way cheaper. 80s, 90s are way, way cheaper. Well, some people would say to me, well, Dan, if 90s are way cheaper, that means the SBCs are going to be way cheaper. It's not really how it works. They just require more. So rather than, this year 90 rated, let's go and grab it for you right now. This year 90 rated are coming in at 30k. Last year 90 rated were 50k. It doesn't mean that the SBCs are half the price because fodder's half the price. They just require double the amount of SBCs because fodder is half the price. But where I'm coming from this is that, fodder last year was very rare, right? It was very rare going into Black Friday. It's been rarer before, you can see right there. But, it was relatively rare. And if 90 rated are 50k, it shows they're significantly rarer than they are this year. But when there was an increase in demand, or should have been an increase in demand, with the likes of Dalglish, with the likes of maybe the Balak SBC, with the Frankie de Jong SBC, we just didn't see this stuff rise during Black Friday, which is why I kind of feel that fodder across the board is overrated to pre-invest for Black Friday. There's only one really piece of fodder that I think might do well during Black Friday, but we'll talk about that in a second. Again, with the 83s, I do think investing in 83s and 84s is overrated. Now, what I will say is if you go and look back 2 years ago, Fodder did actually do very well during Black Friday. I'm sure I can go and grab Koke from FIFA 23. We can see that 83s, 4s, and discarding forms did very well during Black Friday. We can see Black Friday is here where they did 1k all the way up to 2.3k. Now, some would say, well, this is actually maybe more comparable to Fodder this year because you can see that Fodder hasn't done that well many times going into Black Friday. Then all of a sudden, it did very well. The thing is, I just wouldn't want to gamble that because I'd imagine other Fodder probably did well up until this point. Whereas this year, we just haven't seen rises on Fodder. I mean, if we go and load up some Fodder from this year, we just haven't seen many rises whatsoever. 85s, 86s, 84s. I think we've seen two real rises on these Fodder since the release of the game. We saw one rise there where they went from 3.5 up to about 5.5, and then we saw the second rise where they went from about 5k up there to 8k. But apart from that, we generally haven't seen many good rises on Fodder. It just shows that Fodder is consistently as supplied as it is demanded. We can go to Gabriel. Again, we saw maybe one rise here, 6k to 9k, then another rise, 8k to 14k. But Fodder was anticipated to do really well this week. This week we had a brand new icon SBC. We had Bowie, which was quite well demanded. Fodder should have done well this week, but it just didn't because there is just so much supply of it that I really wouldn't back it going into Black Friday. There is only some certain pieces of SBC Fodder that I would back going into Black Friday. And it's the stuff that's rare. This leads us on to the investment that I do go and like as maybe a Fodder going into Black Friday. But even this, I wouldn't say is the most appetizing thing in the world. I'd also say that I think live cards are going to be probably a better investment than Fodder. But for those that want to buy Fodder, this is the sort of one angle I think you can go down where you don't have too much to risk. Now, this is only a Team of the Week prediction, and I would say there is likely to be a 91 rated Inform Kane, which kind of goes against our agenda, but we'll kind of use the prediction for now. Now, Saka can't even get a Team of the Week because he's in the up-and-coming promo, or I think he's an SBC card, so I'd be very surprised if they're going to go and release him as a promo card. So you can see from this that we've got ourselves loads of semi-high rated informs, a few low rated ones and a few high rated ones. But the thing to take away from this is that the high rated ones are not likely to be Fodder. Putellas, Salah and Valverde are all likely to be expensive, meta, well demanded Team of the Weeks. And as a result, there's no super high rated informs that are Fodder. And again, a lot of these are likely to come in at 85 and 86 rated players. You might get a featured player, but again, we're not seeing any 87s, we're not seeing any 88s, and we're not seeing any 89s. Meaning, in my opinion, there is a bit of a middle ground between semi-high rated Fodder, super high rated Fodder, and then okay Fodder. So again, we're looking at probably 87s, 88s, and 89s. And there's plenty of Fodder that, in my opinion, will be a good investment as long as Cruyff and all these other SBCs are going to be requiring 87 plus teams with needing Team of the Weeks. Now we can see that EA's gone and pushed high rated teams in the Icon SBC, with it kind of being one of the first times we've seen an 88 rated team get into these. Also, we've seen 87 rated teams getting into these, rather than EA going for loads of 85s, loads of 86s. So we're seeing EA probably ramp up the squad requirements in the SBCs. Now, they don't have any high rated informs here, but they do start requiring some higher rated informs there. But what I would say is if any of the SBCs require anything higher than an 87 rated inform, I think that 87 plus informs can do very well. Now, we had lots of 86 rated Team of the Weeks last week, but I'm not really too fussed. But as a result, I wouldn't go and invest in the 86 rated Team of the Weeks. I don't think the 86 Team of the Weeks are good investments because you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, where are we going? 5, 6. I think, yeah, there were 6 discard ones. And as a result, I wouldn't go with 86s. But what we haven't seen for a while is an 87 rated, and we haven't seen at least a few of them for a while, is 87s and 88s and 89 rated informs that are Fodder. We had one this week, and if I go back to last week, we can see that we had 188 rated there, then we have 187 rated there, and again, they're kind of throwing an abundance of 86s. So 87s to 89 rated Team of the Weeks, I would say, we don't really have much supply of them. And as a result of not having much supply of them and not expecting to get much supply of them next week, I think this is the angle you can go with informs. Because the reason stuff doesn't do well is because it's heavily supplied during Black Friday, but if high rated informs aren't in packs, apart from Harry Kane, they won't be supplied. And the thing you got to bear in mind with Harry Kane is he's likely to be a 92 rated in form, which means his card is likely to cost minimum like 70k. Because it's likely to cost minimum 70k because of Fodder, well then that just leaves a big enough gap between the prices of like the 89 rated informs. Because you can go and get yourself 89 rated informs, which are coming in at 29k, whereas Harry Kane inform will be nowhere near as cheap, and the low rated shouldn't be anywhere near high enough. So I recommend 89 rated informs. We recommend picking up the likes of the 88 rated informs. And finally, we recommend, not quite sure if we do recommend picking up the 87s, because I think the problem with the 87s are coming in at 23k, and so are the 88s. So unless you can get 87s for 20k, I wouldn't even go for that. So you've got the 88s and the 89s are fodder or informs I like. Also, back on the topic of there, being a lot of supply, I think another investment you can go for is this Donnarumma. This Donnarumma is coming in at the exact same price as 90 rated, but obviously this card is not in packs, meaning again it is not consistently being supplied, and therefore I can see it doing quite well next week. So yeah, another card I can go and, well, I'd recommend picking up. So I wouldn't really recommend picking up anything that's in packs as a fodder investment. I'd only go for stuff out of packs. Now, another problem I have is that traditionally maybe what I'd say if we went and got a 10 times 83 day one, I'd say, do you know what, by the end of the week, 83s will do well and Team Weeks will do well. Because I think you could do this every single day. But the problem is last year it just didn't. Last year, Team of the Weeks didn't keep rising all through the weekend. I think they rose for like 24, 48 hours and then went down. So the problem we have is traditionally if an SBC is repeatable every day, we'll buy it the first day it comes out. It doesn't matter if you buy it inflated because it'll slowly rise through the week. But that's not what happened last year. So sadly, that's why I really don't think I'll be investing in fodder much over Black Friday, because it just didn't do well last year and we had so much requiring it last year. Whereas like the Thunderstruck and the Pro Live card investments should be really good because they did very well last year. Yeah, I'd back live cards always do well. They've done very, very well this year. So that kind of wraps up a little bit about what we're expecting to get over Black Friday and my thoughts about investing in SBC fodder. Now let's just go and talk about what's come out in the last 24 hours briefly. We went and got ourselves a player SBC of the likes of Hendricks. Really nothing too much to scream and shout about him. Not much demand on him whatsoever. We've got a generic SBC, which is great to go and SBC solution trade with. Then we went and got ourselves a pretty undesirable upgrade SBC. On top of that, the market actually did go and rebound a fair bit yesterday. Now, I don't think this means that the market now rebounds going into Friday. I think, again, we'll start seeing the market drop between here through to Friday. Again, if you missed yesterday's video, we have a video covering when to buy absolutely every single sort of card going into Black Friday. Because there's multiple different buy times going off of this stuff's going out of packs. How much is it? Is it a link investment? And so on and so on. So I do recommend checking that out. But in the last 24 hours, again, we do see a lot of drops on meta cards, but at the same time, we can see a lot of rises. It's arguably quite a healthy market. Bear in mind we're going into Black Friday, which is quite interesting. There's the SBC we went and got ourselves yesterday, and we also went and picked up an Evo. We picked up an Evo, which, if I'm not wrong, didn't actually increase stats. It just gave playstyles. It went and gave players Jockey if they don't already have a playstyle plus, but then it also gave the minor playstyles of Slide Tackle, Anticipate, and Block. Can be used on players who are not a origin hero, and one that under 85 rated and had the centre back position. That created Eder Militao. People expected it. I think Eder Militao actually went extinct initially because I think what happened is because of how well Chiesa did in the last 24 hours. People thought Eder Militao would replicate that. He didn't quite, but interesting enough, he is still inflated on the price he was previously. Obviously, it was 7.5 going into it. He was 9k before he came out because obviously private leaks, but he has managed to maintain 11.5k nonetheless. Conde, I'm not quite sure what Conde gets. I think he just gets 3 minor playing styles. Again, before it came out, he was 10k, and now he's up to 12k. Tuchemeni, again, not too desirable. This is kind of where the private leaks backfired for people. He was 6.4k before it came out, and then it went down to 5.7 because it was leaked to come out but wasn't desirable. There's also been some other leaks in the last 24 hours, including what gold cards are going out of packs for the best of team of the week. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I feel like that kind of confirms Valverde is not going to get a current team of the week if he's leaked to be in the best of team of the week. But yeah, Vinicius Jr., Hansen, Messi, Dembele, Salah, Haaland, Valverde, Cristiano Ronaldo. So again, we've already talked about when's the best time to go and buy the gold cards of these and the best time to go and pick up the team of the weeks. He also teases that there'll be 100 special cards in packs, meaning we're probably also going to get a re-release of the best of promo cards. Regarding promo cards, new promo card leaks, it's called Ultimate Succession. If I was to make a presumption, this is probably how many games a team would either go on a winning streak, or maybe how many teams they go on a clean sheet or scoring a goal streak. Obviously, succession meaning one after the other. Interesting enough, there's promo cards for both base, icons, and heroes and icons. So yeah, it should be a really nice, fun promo. Although we've generally got about 5 or 6 promos in the pipeline already come out. There was an objective yesterday, which was a mystery nation. For those that are interested, that mystery nation is Colombia, and you've got to score 3 finesse shots with a Colombian player. Finally, to end off, over this weekend we are expecting to get this thing called Black Friday Mode Mastery, which, as you can see, you're kind of going to get token cards, and you're going to go and trade that in for a promo player or packs or so on. Again, a little bit like what we had with tokens in the past. But that is going to go and wrap that up. As I say, at the moment I am doing a 0 to 2 million coins in 7 days trading Road to Glory. So if you guys are interested in that will be live on the YouTube channel from the 5th of December whilst I'm away. But we are currently recording that and putting that live on stream. That's going to go and wrap that up. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.